Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is a cool little place where you can come on in, get caught up on some of the latest news that involves the best team in the NFL, our Cleveland Browns. But then, on top of that, free of charge, you get a take tied to each of those news items as we go through the show. And then in the end, it's all you guys. It's all you guys and your takes. And so hopefully we have something that you will enjoy here today. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes. This one, hoping, will make the list as well. And then all of you who have subscribed to the channel. We're inching our way towards 7,000. I really appreciate the support you have shown for our show. And then, as I mentioned, thank you to everyone who jumps into the viewer comment section to make their voices heard. Now, coming up on today's show, if you're not happy about the Browns moving to Brook Park, I have some information that may make you feel a little bit better about the situation. For the people who are clamoring for Shedeur to start week one, or maybe you're one of the few who are clamoring for Dylan Gabriel to start week one. We're going to look at the success rate of rookie quarterbacks who've done it and why our situation might be a little bit different. Also, the Pro Football Sports Network went ahead and ranked every team's offensive coordinator / play caller. Kevin Stefanski didn't do so well, but he also didn't do that poorly either. We'll explain. And down in the viewer comments, someone points out what Shedeur Sanders and Lamar Jackson have in common. But first things first, folks, we are going to talk about NFL teams who play outside of their city, and we are about to be one of them. People are already calling us the Brook Park Browns, but no, we will remain the Cleveland Browns, and we will just play in Brook Park. And to make you feel a little bit better about this situation, we're not going to be alone. We're going to be the 11th team out of the 32 to be playing outside of your namesake. So, and this is the list. Now, I'll tell you this, Denver's also considering doing this too. So there could be as many as 12 before it's all said and done. But here we go. Here are the 10. The Rams and the Chargers. So, I mean, technically it's 13 then if you want to consider. But the Rams and the Chargers both play at SoFi, which is in Inglewood. They're not in Los Angeles. The New York Giants / Jets, they don't even play in New York. They play in New Jersey, East Rutherford at MetLife Stadium. The 49ers, Levi Stadium is in Santa Clara, not in San Francisco. The Cowboys, AT&T Stadium is in Arlington. The Raiders, Allegiant Stadium is actually in Paradise, although I've driven by that. It's pretty close to the Strip. The Washington Commanders play at Northwest Stadium in Landover. The Dolphins play at Hard Rock Stadium, which is in Miami Gardens, Florida. That one we tried to get to one time. We were down in Miami. I'm like, yeah, we're not making that drive. And then the Buffalo Bills, of course, the Highmark Stadium, which used to, I remember what Old Rich Stadium, remember that? Anyway, they're in Orchard Park, New York. So I'm just trying to make you feel a little bit better about the situation. If you're not happy about the Browns moving to Brook Park, it's not that uncommon. I mean, we're closing in on almost half the league playing outside of their namesake city. So I know people are, I do like the alliteration, though. I like Brook Park Browns. I like that, but we're never going to call them the Brook Park. We'll play in Brook Park, but it'll be the Cleveland Browns for sure, and we're going to have this nice entertainment district built around the stadium, all of that. So it's going to be very nice what we have coming in Brook Park. So hopefully all of that makes you feel a little bit better about the situation. Now, this might make you feel a little bit better about our rookie quarterback situation, because here's what I'm going to tell you this, folks. It's going to start off a little rough, but where we're going to end, I think you're going to feel a little bit better about maybe starting one of the rookies week one. So let's start here. We'll start with some numbers. So I went back, and I just went back to 2015, and this is kind of what I came up with. I mean, if my numbers are off a little bit here or there, you know how good I am at math. I'm not. So feel free to coach me up in the comments. But rookie quarterbacks that start week one. Since 2015, 35 quarterbacks have been drafted in the first round. 23 have played at least 10 games as rookie, but only 5 finished in the top 12 quarterbacks in their rookie year. That's about 14%. Now, historically, teams that start a rookie quarterback in week 1 do see average improvement, but it's less common. For example, in 2012, 5 rookies started in week 1. Only Robert Griffin III had a strong debut. We're talking about the very first game he played. He had 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and a win. The others, Andrew Luck, Ryan Tannehill, Russell Wilson, Brandon Weeden, all combined for 11 interceptions and just 2 touchdowns. Now, you see there at the bottom of the graphic, Flacco and Sanchez, the only rookie starters who began week 1, they won playoff games. Only ones. Okay, so, and then what does that mean? So here's what it means, folks. We're going to talk about this first. First things first. We have Flacco in our room. Rookie quarterback, right? Won a playoff game. He can coach up our rookie quarterbacks and help them along. The other thing is this. When you look at last year's rookie class, the 2024 class, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix all started week 1. But through their first 2 games, none had thrown a touchdown pass, and they set the record for most consecutive rookie pass attempts without a TD to begin a season. So it's never easy for a rookie to start week 1, but then it's also, it doesn't get any easier for him as the season goes along. Look at this. These are the rookie quarterbacks that start week 1. Now, other than Baker started week 3, this is the list of wins. You can see the list of wins. Dak has the record with 13. And remember, he wasn't supposed to play. He was forced to play because of injury and then went in there and just balled out somehow. And then you see C.J. Stroud. Now, C.J. Stroud had a good rookie year and, of course, beat us in that playoff game. But I'd say he regressed a little bit last year. These teams get tape on these guys, and they make adjustments. It's continual adjustments if you're playing quarterback. So then you see as the list goes on, you see Justin Herbert. Now Herbert started week 2. He didn't start week 1, just like Baker started week 3 for us. Remember he came in against the Jets, and I believe there was a lot. I was going through a lot, so some of this might be off. If I'm off, just coach me up in the comments. But the point is, it's never an easy road. And then number 11 on that list is Bryce Young with only 2 wins. And so starting a rookie that first year, there's so much for them. This is why, a lot of people, me included, I would rather see them sit and learn a little bit. I always look at Mahomes and Breeze and, all these other guys, that got the chance to Rodgers, who got the chance to, sit and soak it all in for a little while and then took it over. So, but here's the thing. Here's why our situation could be a little bit different. It's because of our offensive coordinator, Kevin Stefanski. Our system could set the rookie quarterbacks up to win. We're going to play defense first, right? So think back to when Baltimore won with Trent Dilfer. Defense first, run the ball, high percentage throws. So lots of slants, screens, things like that. Sets our rookies up to win. Now, Stefanski is offensive coordinator. His system, rooted in the West Coast with the strong emphasis on wide zone running schemes and play action passing. Now, Pro Football Sports Network went ahead and ranked all the offensive coordinators and play callers in the league. And we'll get to where Stefanski finished on that list. But first things first. Stefanski as an offensive coordinator. Well, we talked about quarterback development. That's supposed to be. We talked about it. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on that. We'll see. It's supposed to be one of his strengths. Scheme design, his offensive has been most successful when emphasizing the run game and the play action, which is what we're getting back to. So scheme design, play calling is supposed to be one of his strengths, but I can't take it. I think I think he needs to put the play card down and just focus on being the head coach. Let somebody else. I mean, he could be involved in the offense, coordinating the offense if he wants, but he's got to give up the play calling. At least that's where I'm. But now that we're running his offense, maybe it'll be better because if he's calling the plays for his own offense, So there you go. Those are the strengths. Now, his weaknesses: overthinking and stubbornness. The play card, like I just said. They say he leans too heavily on trick plays, which we do. We do some crazy stuff, man. Like I don't understand sometimes some of the plays we're trying to run. His scheme drift. He gets away from now. Remember when we traded for Deshaun Watson? We tried to shift to this offense that accommodated Watson's strengths and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, it was just a disaster. We got away from the core. I don't understand why we bring a guy. We put a square peg in a round hole. And then there's the delegation issue. You know, Stefanski has always been hesitate to fully delegate calling duties, which I just mentioned. And so, those are the things that are for him. Those are the things that are against him. Now, what did Pro Football Focus say? Okay, here's where they ranked. Okay, so there's the top 5. I always like to give you the top 5 so you can kind of compare. But they have Shanahan, McVay, Ben Johnson from the Bears. Yeah, I don't know about that. Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings. I mean, you saw what he did with Darnold last year, and they put up some points. So I can't argue with that. And then Matt LaFleur with the Packers. All right. I mean, I guess I'll let that one go. You see, dead last is Nick Caley of the Texans. Like I said, I thought C.J. Stroud regressed last year, but they also had a lot of injuries. I mean, Nico Collins kept getting hurt. They lost a couple other guys. Anyway, Joe Mixon was pretty good. But yeah, so they had some problem. But there's Kevin Stefanski right there in smack dab in the middle, like at 16. So not great, but not the worst. He's right there in the middle. And they took into account several factors, including reputation, recent performance. This is Pro Football Sports Network, what they took into account for these rankings. Recent performance, current scheme, and trajectory, along with the reputation. And they say Kevin Stefanski is still one of the most underrated offensive minds in football. Okay. Even as the Cleveland Browns offense has spiraled over the past few seasons, quarterback instability and failed experiments have plagued Cleveland over the years. However, Stefanski's system has at least offered some hope. And yeah, in the end, to me, Kevin Stefanski is generally considered a good offensive coordinator, but he has to stick to his core philosophies of a balanced offense, a run-heavy attack with the play-action passing, which is what we're getting back to. And this goes, there's the quote, Kevin Stefanski, still one of the more underrated offensive minds in football, according to Pro Football Sports Network. So, and the system offers some hope. But here's the thing, folks. He's got to stick to it. Maybe running his offense and calling his plays will just get it's going to help this offense tremendously. It'll all come together. And like I said, going back to the rookie quarterback discussion, it'll also help if one of the rookies, is in there sooner rather than later. All of this will help the success of whoever the quarterback is. So that is why I think our situation is a little bit different when you look at those rookie quarterback stats from over the years. And I don't know. I think a rookie can have some success in this offense since it's Kevin's offense and he's going to be calling the plays. So we shall see. Mr. Number 16 in the league. All right, now, one thing that is always ranked number one are the viewer comments. And so we already know that. And so we're going to start with Echo That Media, who says, how do you pay a quarterback like Pickett all that money and then have the nerve to talk about Shedeur? I am done with the media and Browns fans that do not demand what is right. Pay Shedeur now. Pickett is not worth $1 million and those small hands. What is going on in the NFL with these terrible athletes that do not belong even in the UFL? They belong in the UFL, not the NFL. Gabriel Pickett, small hands, small player, zero athleticism. Okay, here's the thing. Pickett is situational grit, remember. No, I'm kidding. All rookies are paid on a scale. So it's all based on where you're picked. So they're not just going to pay him. What he's going to have to do is go out there and ball out. And then in 2 years, they'll renegotiate. And then he'll get his bag. Like, that's how it works with the rookies, especially with the quarterbacks. They're paid wherever they're drafted. And so, and that's it. It's just that simple. So, and Pickett's making what he's making. The Browns had nothing to do with what Pickett's making. They traded for him. They got him from the Eagles. I mean, his contract is tied to the Steelers. Now, they already said they're not picking up the 5th-year option on him. So, I mean, he's playing for his NFL life this year. So So that remains to be seen. He's trying to get his bag this year. So, that's why I think that's look at what Darnold did. That's why people think, you got the Pickett's in the conversation because he's playing for his NFL life. All right, Oscar Duncan 285. Shador is the best QB in Cleveland. Cleveland is dumb if Sanders doesn't start. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's all going to play out in training camp. That's what's going to happen, where it's all going to play out in training camp. Now, C. Williamson 171 says, people say if Shador Sanders was truly a first-round talent, someone would have taken him there. But talent alone doesn't drive decisions in the NFL. When Lamar Jackson was placed on the non-exclusive tag, every team had a shot to sign a 26-year-old MVP. No one even made an offer. Not because of ability, but because the owners didn't want to set a precedent. If a quarterback that is proven can be frozen out in plain sight, so can anyone. Let's not pretend the league always rewards talent. And C. Williamson, 171, you're right. We talked about this with the whole collusion discussion. The owners, and that those papers that came out. And then I said it got me wondering about the Shador draft slide. And so, I think they're saying it without saying it. And C. Williamson, you're right. And we talked about the Lamar Jackson situation. Yeah. And since then, no vet has gotten a guaranteed contract like Deshaun Watson's. It was all started by Deshaun Watson. And C. Williamson, great take. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to end on Nate Edwards Satawi. Now, speaking of Deshaun Watson starting, I'm telling you that the discussion about the new stadium started when Deshaun Watson said, when the Browns went down there, and he first said, I don't want to come here because it's cold. And so then they had to go back to him and then offer him a bag, and that's why it came. And I think that's when the Browns I think Jimmy Haslam was like, okay, we got to build ourselves a dome stadium so we can attract more free agents. But Nate Edwards says $76 million for the new stadium land. Let's do the math. If 1/3 of Shador's fan base of 3 million plus purchased the Browns jersey at $139, that is 999,000 fans, and that equals $137,610,000. Not counting hats and other merchandise. That is $137.6 million just from one player. Crazy money, and Jimmy knew that. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, this conversation started well before Shador. And, I mean, we lucked into Shador, getting him where we got him. But it's not because of Shador they're building the stadium. I mean, it's just dumb luck what happened. And so... like I said, it was Watson belly aching about playing in the cold. And I will tell you this, fans said when they came back, after in 99, they should have built a retractable roof on the stadium down by the lake. And everybody would have been fine with that and open it up because then it would have opened us up to other events. But they didn't do it, and now we're at where we're at. But this conversation has gone on for years, Nate Edwards. Sorry, man, but yeah, this is not because of Shador. This has been a conversation that has gone on a long time, and then Watson spurred it, really got it moving, and then now here we are. Jimmy Haslam finally said, all right, I'm done talking. I'm not asking anymore. I'm telling you, we're going to Brook Park. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. Go Browns. We will see you next time.